Put on a suit. Drink water. Don't drink and drive.
Game over!
Take it light. Safe.
Now you're more fluent.
Makina, he's got three!
Up, Bears. So this is really good right here. Absolutely. Let's do it.
Had to get this episode in for a number of reasons. The summertime right now is cracking, to say the least. We are here in Tourist Town. So as we do at this particular point in time, we got to go through to just make sure all the lives are coming through. Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. YouTube is where it needs to be. All right. Hold on. I slipped up on my Facebook. I slipped up on my Facebook. Let me get the Facebook right, because we're doing SB's reactions. We got SB. No. Did I hold on? Did I do this right? No, I didn't do it right. Okay, so Facebook, I got a SB's right reaction. This is on me, and then we're gonna get moving and grooving. Save that. Yep. Yes. The Facebook is okay. Excellent. Facebook is coming through. We're 3 for 3. It's connecting. And we are in the mix. We are in the mix on that platform. Let me just go over. Let me get home. Yes, indeed. The Twitter. And we know where to start with. My man, Jaylen Brown. I'm not afraid of you or your resources. The Twitch is also where it needs to be. All right, so folks, thank you for taking the time for helping me to do the technical side. Again, this is Sand City Sports coming at you live. I am the Cape Cod Kid, artist formerly known as Andre King. And we're back again to give you all the sports and the current events, news stories that you need to know. And right now, folks, there's a lot that you need to know. The ESPYs was tonight. We're going to speak on the ESPYs, okay? Because Serena was out there doing her thing as the host. I want to go down the list of the awards. Love the ESPYs. I love the Oscarization, if you will, of the sports world. I love the fact that people show up, from all the different sports. It's an event. People come out and we just celebrate sports and this thing that brings different people together from different backgrounds. Is sports perfect? Is sports some type of panacea that creates a utopia in society? No. Okay. But sports in many instances brings folks that would not spend time together. Okay. And do not agree on everything together. And we're able to establish that common ground and move in one direction. And it's a beautiful thing. So with the ESPYs, that I'm just thrilled that ESPN over the years has created this award show and that it's continued and people show up and support it. And it's just great. So I want to talk about tonight's show and the award winners. But we're going to start with my man, Jaylen Brown. Okay, as I went to Twitter, I saw his tweet. Jaylen Brown, doggone slamming his foot down. And I'm coming at this from a number of different angles, and we're gonna, I'm just checking over here. Okay, so how do I? So, all right, so I saw the tweet, and I'm gonna speak to the tweet. I'm not afraid of you or your resources. Who's he talking about, folks? He's talking about Nike. Okay, and his view that he's left off of Team USA, which he absolutely, positively, unequivocally belongs on. The original Team USA, right? Jaylen Brown should have been on that roster. Okay, now we get into who you take off, who you don't, all of this back and forth. One person has to go from Team USA, because Jaylen Brown is deserving. And yes, Team USA, it's the best of the best, and that's not a homer take. I really do feel that Jaylen Brown, is in that, and it's not I feel. You saw the man was the Finals MVP. You saw the man was the Eastern Conference MVP. Yes, that award could have been split, between him and or you could have went JT, JB in either one of those series. I would have went, and I'm going to come back to JB, but I would have went JT in the finals only because the conference finals went to, spread the love, spread the wealth. All right. JB ended up getting both. Fine. Again, for me, and I feel strongly about this, I would, because it's really, these are the two leaders. You know what I mean? We don't 1A, 1B, all of that foolishness. Celtics don't allow that foolishness. That's not how the team functions. That's why they dominant, they won the NBA championship this year in dominant fashion. That's why they're favorites for next season, because you do have a continuity, you do have a chemistry, you do have a connectedness, you do have a respect across the board. All that being said, I would love to have seen Jason Tatum get the Finals MVP, only because Jaylen Brown got the Conference Finals MVP, or vice versa. If you gave the Conference Finals MVP to JT, to give the dog on NBA Finals to JB. We need to spread the love on that, though. Okay, right? So who Jaylen Brown is talking about in this tweet is Nike, and this I'm thrilled. I have to say I'm thrilled that Jaylen Brown is speaking to this matter. The timing of it is not. Needs to kind of be unpacked, right? So I'm gonna, this is something Jaylen Brown, the whole situation. But I'm gonna come at how I'm gonna come at. I'm just got prefacing that and just tell you what the heck my feelings are. I thought that Jaylen Brown did not want to be on Team USA, okay, because Grant Hill put the word out during the playoffs and the NBA Finals particularly, but the word might have gotten out during the conference finals that if Kawhi can't play, then the replacement is going to be Derek White. And I was like, that's great for Derek White. He's a consummate, team player. He's obviously very skilled and a huge part of the Celtics dynasty. Both White and Drew Holiday have spoken about this. This is Dennis Johnson and Danny Ainge all over again. Maybe even more so. I have to go look back. I know that Dennis Johnson won. A NBA championship. Shout out to DJ, right? Celtics, great. Dennis Johnson won a championship. And this is a little bit of throwback information with the Supersonics before coming to the Celtics. But I don't know if he was a perennial all-star, right? Like Drew Holiday is a perennial. I don't know, but perennial's tough, but he's an all-star level player. He doesn't make it every year, just, for whatever reason. I think he should be out there. But he's an all-star level player, clearly. NBA champion. Believe Drew has a gold medal, or this is going to be a second gold medal. My point with Derek White is, he's right there. Like Drew Holiday is better than Derek White, in my view. Again, not trying to have any, but I think Derek White is kind of right on the cusp in terms of all the different things that he does. And so when I heard, I was like, Kawhi, we know Kawhi, he can only play a certain amount of basketball. And so he's had the injury issues really since I don't even know if it's halfway point, like the first third of his career, after they won a couple championships in San Antonio, and the injury started to be there, and they've been there ever since. And so I'm like, great. He's a great guy. Obviously chipped his tooth and, got his tooth, tooth is ready for the parade. But, he said, if I had to, chip my tooth 1,000 times, but you know what I mean? He's just, it was a feel good story. And but in the back of my mind, in the back of your mind, folks, you had to have been thinking like, man, like, why not JB? I know that's what many of you out there were, or you might have been. I was in the feel good moment. I was in the feel good moment, just happy for a guy that's deserving in Derek White, happy for the Celtics to have JT on the team, to have Drew Holiday on the team, to have another Celtic on the team. But, in the back of your mind, you're like, like as happy as I am for Derek White, like, why not Jaylen Brown? And I'm kind of, and this is what was really interesting to me about the story, because let's be clear, folks, LeBron James put this team together. Let's be clear about Team USA. LeBron James put this team together, right? Grant Hill, and that's an unbelievable hire to take over for Jerry Colangelo, who, you want to talk about basketball royalty? You want to talk about somebody that's done more? Never mind turning USA basketball around after the debacle in 2004, right? I'm dating myself. I don't give a doggone. It's been 20 years. It feel like yesterday to me that Allen Iverson and Stephon Marbury and a young LeBron James and a young Carmelo Anthony and the other folks went out and got embarrassed in Athens, Greece. And I'm a history person. I'm a philosophy person. So that Olympics being in Athens, Greece, and I was in college at the time, and it was a big deal. And USA got absolutely embarrassed. Larry Brown is a coach, and Larry Brown is a very good coach, but his way of doing things, that old school way of doing things, just did not connect with that group. Even though he had coached Allen Iverson previous, it was a train wreck. I don't, did they finish with the bronze? I believe that they finished with the bronze, but they might not even have medaled. Okay, and Jerry Colangelo. Now, just first of all, shout out to Jerry Colangelo, who we're gonna talk a little bit about Team USA. Jerry Colangelo is the one that got rid of the illegal defense. He was essentially, because we used to have illegal defense, meaning you had to play man to man. Okay, in the NBA, you had to play man to man. No, excuse me. So you had to play man to man, and it just created this. You could just isolate players because you couldn't double team, and it was just. And so we got rid of the having to play man to man, quote unquote, illegal defense, and then we brought in defensive 3 seconds, which is a much better. Much better ruling. Also, Jerry Colangelo, back in the day, he was big with hand checking. Okay, old school folks, you'll remember Derek Harper. Okay, my old school folk, my new jacks, my young people, you don't remember who Derek Harper is. Go ahead and Google him up. Derek Harper, one of the fiercest defenders out there. Late 80s, played for the Mavericks. Early 90s, my New York Knicks, and I say my because that's diehard New York Knicks fan. Okay, now interesting full disclosure, I did leave the Knicks the Knicks fandom, and I'm just being honest with you. And it wasn't in the early 90s. I was living in New York in the early 90s. This is, we moved to Cape in 93, late 93, Christmas of 93. So been on the Cape 30 years. But when the Knicks were competing for championships in 91, 92, 93, and that man from Chicago was standing in their way, okay, diehard Knicks fan. And I wanted that championship in 94 against the Naraka. I wanted that championship in 94. But then, interesting full disclosure for me, then I moved over. And I'm sorry, my Knicks fans. I moved over, and the second three-peat for the Bulls, 72-10, don't mean a thing without that ring. And honestly, you can't even really blame me too much because the patent leathers are really what swung me. The greatest basketball shoes of all time. A little quick. I remember, because I'm not a sneakerhead. Your boy's not a sneakerhead, and we are, by the way, going to get back to Jaylen Brown. We're going to get back to Jaylen Brown, but we're connecting dots right now. We're connecting dots. I'm not a sneakerhead, folks. The patent leathers are the greatest basketball shoes of all time. They might be the greatest sneaker of all time, specifically the black and red joints. Okay, but so we already know Michael Jordan, billionaire, and still pulling in hundreds of millions of dollars from his sneakers, from Nike. Jaylen Brown connection, but okay, every single year, patent leathers are still being sold. Talking to my buddy Matt Clark, who I work with at Narrowland Web Development Design Company in Hyannis. Shout out to Narrowland. And we were just talking, and he got 2 youngsters coming up. He's got the twins coming up through the ranks. They're very good athletes. They're very good students. The whole 9 yards. And he was saying the family was watching The Last Dance on Netflix. And so all of a sudden, the young boy, so he got the young boys Jordans, and so again, what do elementary school students, what do they know of Michael Jordan? Okay, so you see still selling hundreds of millions of dollars worth of shoes. Tip my hat to Michael Jordan. Patent leathers, best of those shoes as far as I'm concerned ever. So that's why I switched over from my so you shouldn't really be switching teams. That's not like a true diehard fan. But folk, give me a little bit of the patent leathers did sway a lot of people into the Jordan into the Jordan empire. Okay. So shout out to the patent leathers. Got on that, talking about my early 2000, my 1990s Knicks fandom. I was being honest, giving you how I moved over to the Bulls, and then you might remember I come back to my Knicks fandom because Tom Thibodeau is my favorite coach, bar none. All right, and when he was here with the Celtics, then he got the opportunity with the Bulls. Okay, so then I go to the Bulls. So Tom Thibodeau is my guy, and whatever team he's coaching, I got to support him. But it is the nostalgia piece of the Knicks bringing back, because Tom Thibodeau was an assistant coach back in the day for Pat Riley. So those two things together, the old school nostalgia, growing up in the tri-state area, rooting for the Knicks, and now Thibodeau coming back. So that's why the Knicks support and fandom is through the roof. Folks, I've been with you about 15 minutes. People might you might have liked those stories, those asides. And you might be like, what the heck is this guy? So I don't. Let me just. I'm interested in your feedback and how you think and feel. I got a couple views on the YouTube. I'm thrilled with that. Okay, on the Facebook, people checking in with me. On the Twitter, I can't really see, but I'm thrilled to be on Twitter and the Twitch. We're on. So folks, again, people that are viewing, tune in, tune out, like, comment, subscribe. Don't like, criticize respectfully. You don't like this, you don't like that. I'm interested in the conversation. And as I've said before, anybody that wants to jump on Sand City Sports, reach out. However, just leave a comment, boop, my name or whatever, boop. I'll send you the link and you can come in, if you want to be a part of this, by the fans, for the fans, and let's get after it, right? Let's get after it. Okay, so I went all the way around the world and talked about a number of different things. That's how it's flowing tonight. But Jaylen Brown, the issue is with Nike, and where before I went off on a tangent, I was saying how originally during the finals when that Derek White's going to replace Kawhi, over the moon. It's great. Kawhi, who wasn't even ready to play in the playoffs. Why is he even thinking about playing for Team USA? I was stunned that he showed up to camp in the first place. I was like, wow, it's crazy, but if he wants to play, and then, showed up, took some pictures, and then he's like, I'm out, I'm not playing, which is honestly classic Kawhi. Okay. And then my point with going over it this way, folks, is it's clear now that Jaylen Brown was feeling some type of a way from the beginning. That's right. But that's one of the offshoots of this story that is fascinating to me, right? Meaning Jaylen Brown maybe and probably felt disrespected not being on Team USA originally. And now I'm going to take a step aside and look not deep, but LeBron James, in my view, put this team together, right? LeBron James was the one that, after the embarrassment in the World Championship last year, LeBron James was early to social media talking about, I'm coming back, and we, meaning LeBron being the leader, and then his handpicked folks are going to correct this. That's what happened after the World Championship embarrassment. Even though I was happy to see Anthony Edwards shine, Team USA, I don't even know if we medaled in the World Championships last year, or whatever the heck happened. I skipped it, but I do know it wasn't gold. And all of a sudden, there's this rush and there's this patriotism, and there's we're gonna get this right, led by LeBron James. So we're picking up Steph Curry, we're picking up Kevin Durant, we're picking up Anthony Davis, right? Picking up Devin Booker and Bam Adebayo, some of the Kentucky cats. You're right. And LeBron, it's in my view, I see LeBron as the architect of this team. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. Okay? Because another little side of this is, so LeBron was saying the stuff that he's going to do, and then Joel Embiid came out and said, I'm playing for Team USA. And then they went to LeBron, hey, Joel Embiid said he wants to play for Team USA. And you can go back and check that interview. LeBron, you say, that's cool. He's playing with us? Oh, you know what I mean? That's hot. That's cool. Hey, LeBron, I heard Joel Embiid's playing with Team USA. First thing he says is, that's cool. That's great. You mean he's playing with us? He's playing with us. That wasn't about Joel Embiid having Cameroonian citizenship and American citizenship and there being some confusion. Well, LeBron James, in my view, by the way, crazy. The people, the Cameroon government, that's crazy. Side note, but, serious, but then just wild. So I'm going to touch on it, but government in Cameroon said Joel Embiid, like, don't come back. You're not welcome back. That's I may be, but there were, at the least, and I don't want to get into geopolitical. The folks in Cameroon were not thrilled, which, I kind of feel that he has the right to play for who he wants to play with. Elijah Wan played with Team USA. Joel Embiid could have played for Cameroon just to play for his country, would have helped the country, and they would have got knocked out early, but, he could play for Cameroon, but he's a dual citizen. He has the right to play for the USA as well. But, some of these things, they say, Joel, whatever politicians are not happy, they cannot be happy. I support Joel, as I've said before. But my point with this is, when Joel Embiid said, I'm playing for Team USA, there was that interview with LeBron, oh, that's cool. Are you playing with us? Meaning me and my guys? And then shortly thereafter, Team USA put out a statement that everybody who wants to play for Team USA is not going to play for Team USA. Right? So yeah, just working back. And I feel like Grant Hill smoothed some things over behind the scenes, looking at, like, obviously we're a better team with Joel Embiid on the roster, and Joel Embiid is now on the roster. Okay? LeBron is what is this guy? It's late, you know what I mean? It's not even really that late. Let me get back on my A game, folks. Let me get back. I'm thrilled to be here. It's late, but it's summertime. There's so many great things going on, and we're going to get to a lot of great things. Summer League, Cape League, just summertime. This is the season on the Cape. We got to make hay while the sun shines, so on and forth. Okay, let's get back to just Jaylen Brown and this LeBron-specific narrative, okay, that LeBron has a good relationship with Jaylen Brown. I'm just a guy, so I can't. LeBron picked Jaylen Brown second back when players were picking the teams. Okay, I want this person set first, and I want JB second. Okay, in that All-Star select. Oh, what that doesn't really. They got rid of the All-Star game selection because it does mean something, and people were feeling some type of a way. And it was crazy that Nikola Jokic was the second to last man picked. Could have been the last man picked. He just went to a sideline at the disrespect, which was insane. Okay, but you do see that who people, like and respect, and there is that whole angle. And another reason why the NBA probably did away with it. And I thought that it was great, but right, Giannis picks Damian Lillard first. But and then Damian Lillard is on his way to Milwaukee because Giannis wants him there. All right. So LeBron, and this is for me from the All-Star. He's Jaylen Brown. Like, this is one of my guys. I respect him. He's not necessarily one of my guys. Part of the clutch conglomerate. But LeBron respects Jaylen Brown. So again, in terms of now that we know Jaylen Brown wanted to be on the team, it's like, okay, LeBron runs the team. In my view, I keep saying, but Jaylen Brown's on a team, but they seem to get along. Now the whole Grant Hill side of it, I'm like, Grant Hill, you can't see, A, to just put Jaylen Brown on the team, period. B, if Kawhi is not going to be there and Jaylen Brown wants to be there, you don't have to think twice about it. Jaylen Brown is obviously there. Like, Grant Hill can't see and understand and recognize that. By the way, folks, what's Grant Hill's net worth? Those of you who are kind of rocking with me, kind of quarter of $1 billion in terms of Grant Hill's net worth. Did Grant Hill get that next huge contract? We know he didn't, right? We know he didn't get that next huge contract that he was in order, in line for because of the ankle injury. I despise load management, despise it. But Grant Hill is one of the few examples that I will concede where, being tough and rubbing some dirt on it did not work. Grant Hill's autobiography, I believe it's called Game. I have it on Audible. Let me go over here and just confirm that. I don't want to, let me just go into my Audible library. Shout out to Audible. I'm already in the library. Okay, so many. I don't even think about the $15 that I pay. Even though I don't listen to it as much, and I got a bunch of books that I haven't even, gotten into and started just because. But let me just make sure. It's called Game. So went through that on Audible. It was solid. It was well written. And he just kind of talks about that kind of whole, toughen it out. And he just did damage that it took, really took three, it was almost like a Klay Thompson situation. But he might have had, like, Klay Thompson missed 3 seasons essentially with the consistent, just ACL, then Achilles, and then ACL again. Like, Grant Hill missed about that much time, maybe even a little bit more. And he's $250 million, and he got any $250 million net worth. Okay. Talk about managing your money. Talk about managing your assets. You want to talk about the Duke connection, the brotherhood. Shout out to Grant Hill. Also, Grant Hill with the Duke connection. Had Cooper Flag in there hooping with Team USA, which was great for Cooper and the major storyline. He's out there with the NBA guys, and he fits in seamlessly, and he's a prohibitive #1 pick next year. And then also, he's goes to the same university as the director, Grant Hill. I got no problem with that. My only thing with that is, Grant, if you're going to show Cooper Flag some love, I need to see Ace Bailey in some of these runs. I need to see Dylan Harper in some of these runs. Some of my ball players from the Garden State. Right? It's not just your Cooper, it's Cooper. But these young, and Rutgers basketball is going to be a problem next year, folks. Rutgers basketball is going to be a problem next year, folks. Shout out to Ace Bailey. Shout out to Dylan Harper. Grant, spread the love. Give your Duke people some love. But if you're going to bring some high school kids out there, bring some of the other top high school players, specifically those people from New Jersey. Grant Hill does not have a problem, in my view, or I couldn't see a problem between Grant Hill and Jaylen Brown. So it was, first of all, I was intrigued when we got the news a couple days ago. Kawhi's out. Obviously, that's not intriguing. We all knew that was going to happen, right? Derek White in, clap for Derek White. But when Jaylen Brown put out the emoji, like with the glasses, the questioning emoji, that for me is Pandora's box. Because again, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I guess Jaylen Brown did not want to be on Team USA. And Jaylen Brown, one of my favorite players, one of my favorite athletes, has a social consciousness, right? Captain or on the chess team at Cal. You want to talk about some of the stereotypical things that we still, people saying that teams were passing on Jaylen Brown because he's quote unquote too cerebral, too intelligent. What the heck? Let me be family friendly. What the heck are you even talking about? What are you even talking about? This is the type of stuff we go back. I'm dating myself, right? The running rebels of UNLV, when they beat the brakes off of Duke in 1990, beat the brakes off of them. And by the way, quick connection, right? Who was it that helped Duke in a game that they were decidedly the underdogs in win the next year? Grant Hill, right? Connection there. But the narratives that we saw about UNLV and Duke going into that game, right? The subtle, the smarter team. So you're talking about UNLV, you're talking about Duke, and how things are ascribed. And, it happens, right? They called the team, Duke team Uncle Tom's. And Grant Hill wrote a very good op-ed in the New York Times to kind of, no. Right? Just back to Duke. I felt that way, resented Duke. Thought they were silver spoon people. Then I read The Miracle of St. Anthony's, all about Bobby Hurley, Sr., and then Bobby Hurley, the Hurleys, right? We know who the Hurleys are now. You've known who the Hurleys are. I'm not disrespecting anybody. The Hurleys, basketball royalty. So happy for Danny to get the 2 natties. Because Danny struggled, being the younger brother behind. Right? Read The Miracle of St. Anthony's. Get it on Audible. Woj. Back when we had Borders years ago, I got it for like $1, like 99 cents, because Borders was going out of business. Paperback version, read it, blew my mind away. It was just really well written. If you're a basketball person, the story of St. Anthony's. But I thought Bobby Hurley just, I always just looked at him as his privileged, white person of privilege. Christian Laettner, person of privilege. Christian Laettner's from Below. Both, Jersey City's right there, so it's in New Jersey, so we're not going, but Christian Laettner is from Buffalo, blue-collar, hard-nosed city. Bobby Hurley Jr., Jersey City, forget about it. Okay? But again, this whole idea of, and this is the connection I'm bouncing around, but this is how the show is going to go. Interesting how the clips, how I'm able to clip things up, or if this is the format that it resonates with people or not. This is definitely be the format for tonight, and I'll take the feedback, but I'm trying to connect the points. I think I'm doing a decent job, but maybe I can do, right, but I'm going off on tangents. Guys, this is back to, Jaylen Brown, right, who the Celtics unequivocally got that right. They unequivocally got it right with Jason Tatum. Go back and look at those 2 drafts, 16 and 17, and see, right, how that stacked out, because there's those diagrams that are out there. So, right, built the foundation for, but the narrative about Jaylen Brown, he's too smart, he's too cerebral. That you know, is one, you know, I can see how I actually I can't see how anybody would even think that Jaylen Brown having a consciousness is a negative. Um, you know, that's just outlandish to me. But you know, it might have just been, you know, it might have just been one person who said it and they took the storyline and ran with it and yada yada yada. But JB is perfect for Boston. You know, he is continuing the strong legacy of Bill Russell in this state, in the city of Boston. A proud legacy of being more than an athlete, and you know, and he's heavily involved in education and the bridge program. You know, so these are all extraordinary positives, right? So when Jaylen Brown said, you know, and we did the emoji, I'm like, what the heck is going on? Because before that, I felt like Jaylen Brown, like he's now on his summer tours, right? Athletes, you know, that have big platforms and brands in the summer, they're going to different international markets, you know, doing the promotion, so on and forth. That's not necessarily Jaylen Brown. And if you follow him, you know what I'm talking about. You know, I get like he's traveling. He's not local. Well, you know, he was local today for the ESPYs. But what I'm saying is, as this storyline is developing, you know, Jaylen Brown is, you know, he's on the in an international country. He's actually in the Middle East, an Arab country, specifically, just to kind of distinguish, you know, what part of the world he's in. But he's there connecting with the culture. But like and now, so that's what I'm thinking when I see those things. And before he comes out and says it on social media, I'm just like, okay, he said to Team USA, you know, something, no thank you, but no thank you. I have these other obligations and commitments in the summer. I don't want to play. So all right, so he doesn't want to play. Okay, but now he goes and puts some things out there, and no, I did want to play. So immediately, like, what the heck is going on here? This is right. Now I'm looking sideways at some people. I'm looking sideways at LeBron. I'm looking sideways at Grant Hill. Like, what's going on here? You know, why, you know, JB is obviously good enough, you know, I said, to be on a team, but if Kawhi can't be there, then you know, that's a win-win, because he should have been there to start with, you know, but now, you know, okay, so now just like with the All-Star game, like, oh, somebody gets snubbed, but this person is going to be injured, so this person can get their first All-Star appearance, and it works out that way. This is a situation we had. Okay. Just a quick aside, sorry for it. Let me get back into it. You know, I get a quick text, you know what I mean? Some family, support, love, appreciate. I mean, we'll talk a little bit about, you know, just the rich blessings right now that we're, you know, having, being on the Cape, and a lot of things, a lot of great things in the weather. So we just got to just got to really appreciate these moments that, you know, and I'll get into it, you know, as I talk. It's been a half an hour on JB. It is what it is. I don't, and obviously I bounced around, done a number of things, but it's just, you know. So now let's come to the present time. He puts out the spectacles. Okay, now we got a story, but what the heck is going on? People talking about it. And then, you know, today really, you know, the narrative comes out that really makes the most sense. And, you know, it's the storylines are coming, but then JB himself in his tweets is kind of taking us to the heart of the matter, which is, you know, he walks to a different beat than Nike. And Nike is the most dominant apparel company in the game of basketball. I would say by a large margin. Okay, in terms of, you know, just however you want to look at it, overall sales, who is, you know, their roster, you know, very clear. If you see the 30 for 30 Soul Man, you know, about the tremendous miss by Adidas in terms of signing LeBron James, who went to ABCD camp, who was, you know, close with Sonny Vaccaro. Okay, so Soul Man kind of talks about that. And people, I'm dating myself again, but Nike gave him $90 million, right? Signed, his Cleveland Cavalier deal was for $90 million. LeBron, here you go. Making it clear that you are and how's that paid out? If Adidas had given Jordan $100 million back then and been like, you're our guy, LeBron, they wanted to listen to, you know what I mean? So yeah, there's that. Sonny Vaccaro, same thing with Michael Jordan years ago. Okay, he goes to the Nike people and he says, well, we're going to give this much to Elijah Wan. We're going to give this much to Barkley. We're going to give this much. Sonny Vaccaro said, no. What you're going to do is take all that money and give it to Michael Jordan because this is the future. You're not going to go, let me give a little penny over here, a little penny, because they're just college guys. You know what I mean? No. You're not going to do this. This guy is the future. Okay? Bank on it. Let's get it done. Okay? Haven't seen Air. It's on Amazon. People have been telling me to go see it. It's crazy. I haven't seen it because coming from the Commonwealth, Matty D, Ben Affleck, those are my people. Wrote the screenplay for Good Will Hunting. Just, okay? So it's crazy that I saw the first part, but I haven't gone through. Right? So that's what Sonny Vaccaro did with Michael Jordan. At this time, Sonny Vaccaro, and let's just be clear on Sonny, he's outside personality. I'm just, but Adidas didn't want it. But where are you now, Adidas? You're a brand, you're there, you're present, but so Nike is the conglomerate. Nike is the dominant apparel company in the game of basketball, and they have major influence. But this is crazy to me that so Jaylen Brown was with Adidas and then left Adidas, didn't go with Nike. He has his issues with Nike. And honestly, I'm interested to know what Jaylen Brown's issues are with Nike because I'm confident that he's making sense on some of these in terms of how the company could be better. I don't think that it's smoke and mirrors and personal, and I just don't like you because you happen to be a big corporation. He might have, Jaylen Brown. I'm gonna, has some points that Nike can improve on. Fine. But it's to the extent, and this has been other stars. I think it might have been Dame Lillard some years ago that said he wasn't on the team because he's an Adidas guy and it's a Nike team, and they didn't want so on and forth. Kind of similar, not similar in that like there was no reserve. I don't remember like they didn't put Dame on the team and then like somebody left the team and they still didn't put Dame on the team. Although that might have been the case, 1-for-1. But that has been out there. Listen, talked about this about 40 minutes. Just this one particular, and haven't gotten into the other things. Bouncing around, hey, we're gonna do at least an hour, so we're going to at least 12:30, at least minimum to 12:30, if not beyond. So we're gonna, gonna progress. I'm talking, this is a stream of consciousness pod. It is what it is, and that's how this today is gonna go. Going forward. Okay, I will be a little bit more linear. 1, 2, 3. But all the way back to this Jaylen Brown situation, and Jaylen Brown was at the ESPYs, and just a quick glimpse that I got him. He was quite serious, as he's in the headlines, and look, brass tacks, just back to the team. This is an error. It's an error. Is it the same as snubbing Isaiah Thomas? No. Is it the same as snubbing Shaquille O'Neal? No. It's not at that level of just wildness for me. Right? Isaiah Thomas should have full well been on the team. We know this. Shaquille O'Neal was much better than Christian Laettner. We know this. And they handled it how they handled it. Fine. leaving JB out and not even allowing him to be a replacement and trying to sweep it under the rug. This is a little, I feel, I feel it. Let's put it. Team USA, you got this wrong. Grant Hill, you got this wrong. And how you did it, it's kind of making me even more, making me angrier. Now that I think about it, right? And we're gonna conclude on this, but it's making me angrier even thinking about it that you put the subliminals out there during the finals when Jaylen Brown couldn't respond. That if Kawhi, so that just the lay person, just the person that's on the outside like me is, that's a good thing, it's great. Not knowing the real reason, yes, Team USA and Grant Hill, you put that out there when you did to cover your behind. And to cover them tracks. That's why you put it. You didn't have to say anything. And now kind of is making more sense. Why would you even comment on Kawhi not being there during the conference finals and when you were doing it? Why would you even do that? Who even cares? And then Kawhi shows up to camp. It's like, you didn't even need to do. It doesn't even make sense. And then he leaves immediately. Right? So with that showing now, we're putting the pieces together. You knew Kawhi wasn't going to be on Team USA. And you also knew Jaylen Brown was feeling some type of way, and Jaylen Brown would speak on it. So you put this out there, you meaning USA Basketball, yes, you, Grant Hill, getting ahead of it while the Celtics are making their championship run, and JB can't speak to it, to plant those seeds and create that narrative, and it's feel good, and we're happy for Derek White, and then also you did that, to kind of put additional pressure, in my view. Listen, JB, we got 3 of the Celtics' big 4, and we're leaving you out. But if you do speak out, then you're against the Celtics team chemistry now. It's not about you and Nike. It's not about you and Team USA. It's about you and your own championship team if you speak out. That's how this is being framed, and that's why, again, I'm proud of JB for speaking his mind and addressing this issue, which is an issue, so that we can put the pieces together. Because there was some politicking going on. There's some politicking going on that we can see now. Okay, I didn't need to know that Derek White was going to be Kawhi's replacement while the finals was going on. If it, I didn't need that information. That didn't, Okay. If that's what you could have just waited till now to just bring out Derek White. No, but you were getting ahead of what you saw coming in terms of the finals MVP, perennial all-star, NBA champion. Okay, top 10, 15, probably more 15 players in the league who wanted to be there is not there. Okay, that's what was going on. Last point, and I said we got a lot, and it's been 40 minutes on JB. It is what it is. This is, there's a lot, a whole lot there. And it's that I with Nike and and he didn't. But here's the thing. With and Jaylen Brown, when he wears Nikes, he puts a tape over the swoosh, and he really has some significant issues with Nike. Okay, but here's the thing, folks. And I'm a sports nut, and follow sports, and Celtics are the home team, and follow JB and all the rest of that stuff, and know about so I follow these things. This is the first time I've ever heard about this JB Nike issue. The first time. The absolute first time, right? First time, never heard it in the Boston sports media. And this is Boston's #1 sports city in America for a reason. Okay? So that adds to the underhandedness as I'm seeing it. This feud, I guess there is a feud between Jalen and Nike was completely submerged. Completely. Like, that's a storyline just in and of itself. Never mind Team USA basketball. That Jaylen Brown, one of the ascending stars in the entire NBA, is going to the mattresses against the dominant sports apparel company, in the NBA and possibly globally. That's a huge storyline that nobody knew about. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody that happens to be watching. Like, where was that on EEI or wherever? NBC Sports Boston. Like, who was saying this? Okay, and so that's to the point. Whereas, again, I'm putting a little bit more mud on Team USA and Grant Hill. Yes, I'm saying, yeah, Grant Hill, loved your book. Grant Hill, quarter billionaire. Grant Hill, tremendous respect for you. Okay, and LeBron putting his team together. Like, we're talking heavy of that. We're talking the bosses right now in the game of basketball. We're talking bosses. Okay, but why couldn't JB have just been on the team? Like, you're making. And this is what I'm saying. Like, Jaylen Brown, if he was been on the team, you think he's going to go to the Olympics and win a gold medal, and the first thing he's going to say on the podium is something derogatory about Nike? You think that's how Jaylen Brown is wired? And again, this is full circle. I'm glad, that's what I'm saying. That whole perception that people, well, if we let him go to the Olympics, who knows what he's going to say? And he's going to get on that podium, and who knows what he's going to say? And he could cause, we have liability. And okay, this goes back to the disrespect of Jaylen Brown coming out of college. That him being an informed, curious, capable young man, incredibly well-rounded, was scaring teams off, was seen as a negative. But I was going to say a name, I'm not, you know what I mean? If another player from a different cultural background had all those same intangibles, okay, sponsorships would be lining up, teams would be lining up, and, well, he's on the chess team, and, he's active in this community service. But for JB doing all of these same things, it's seen as, it's crazy. And we know that's systemic racism. Okay? Oh, you're not making this. No. There's your example right there. You change the complexion and the cultural origin of the player and ascribe all of those attributes to that individual, okay? And they're ready to give them the National Medal of Freedom. Okay? And we can't, but Jaylen Brown evidences the same things, and teams are concerned. Okay, and flash forward now to Team USA in this Olympics. We just can't allow him to have that power. When has he abused that power in relation to this this feud since? And it's been what? JB coming to the league in 2016. So he's with Adidas first 3 years. So we're talking 1920. It's been like 4 years since Jaylen Brown left Adidas. 3-4 years. Okay. We've heard none of the issue with him and Nike. None of it. Radio silence. But the first thing he's going to do when he gets on Team USA is tell the world that him and Nike are going 15 rounds. Makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense. Okay. And again, it just kind of leads to this perspective. And you know what I mean? But it's an issue because, you didn't just edge out. You didn't just You didn't just what word is kind of escaping me. It's not just anybody that you apply this redlining like tactics to, right? We know what redlining is. Okay. Oh, you're getting a little too political. Redlining, it's a reality. We got 2 qualified applicants for the loan. Okay. This person is white. This person's a color. Well, we're not going to give the loan to this person. Period. But they're qualified. I'm sorry, we don't have a loan for you. Right? That's redlining. Oh, we people, if you work hard and pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and I had to do this, and then what, oh yeah, I did those things. Can I get, no, you can't get a loan. You can't have access to credit. No, you can't. But I checked, no, you skip recess one day in 4th grade. We can't let you have a loan. I'm sorry. No, you didn't put your tray away in high school that one time your junior year. We can't give you a loan. I'm sorry. Right? That's redlining. That's systemic racism. That's an actual problem in this or any society. Okay, when people do the right thing and pay their way and are still told no. That's a problem. That's immoral. That's unethical. It's possibly, and this is not, but possibly criminal. And so we went 50 minutes on the JB situation. Again, this is because I went over to Twitter just to make sure that Twitter was live, and it is live. And 12 noon, it is 12 midnight. At 12 noon, JB up the ante. Okay, I'm not afraid of you or your resources. Okay, I want for this to be resolved. Okay, so I'm not for narrative story. I want for this to be resolved. Okay, Jaylen Brown is tremendous for the NBA, and Nike's tremendous for the NBA. I want this to be resolved. But at the same time, saying that I am proud of Jaylen Brown for standing up. I'm proud of him for standing up and highlighting and evidencing what the real conversation and issues are here. Okay, not about any in-between the team Celtics stuff. Everybody knows Jaylen Brown's talented enough to be there. It's not coming from, apparently it's not coming from LeBron or Grant Hill. This is coming from Nike. And they got it wrong. Put them on a team. They go out there, they win the gold. And we move forward. We move forward from there. Just a quick, and I'm saying that JB, JB, from my perspective, and it was a moment, but we don't need the profanity in your acceptance speeches. It was a moment. I get you, accepting the Finals MVP, and you got it, and you deserved it, and so on and forth. And I just, in that moment, the profanity, again, is, because everybody was so happy the championship was back in Boston. It's been 16 years, kind of so on and forth. But again, that was, I don't think that's consistent. It's not like JB is out there swearing every time the microphone's in front of him, or really anytime. That kind of caught me off guard a little bit. In the acceptance speech, but misdemeanor of misdemeanors, and we move forward. Okay, so I started it. I said we're gonna go an hour, and I went about an hour just with the JB and the Celtics situation. A couple, but I'm not going to. And we might have to do a little bit of rapid fire. Maybe not, because the summertime is on right now, and it's a beautiful thing. And so we're gonna go over. Talk about And that topic really, because I want to talk about JB and I want to talk about the Olympics. It was more so JB. I do have some Olympic stuff that I want to get to, but I'm just going over here. Shout out to Serena hosting it. Love how they had all of her, how she walked out and all of her clothing line was there. Okay. Best MLB player, Shohei. I'm rocking with that. Rocking with Shohei. And specifically what Shohei was doing around this time last year before his injury was out of this world. One of the best stretches in baseball history. How Shohei Ohtani came out of the gates last year, pre-injury, well deserving of the MLB player. Patrick Mahomes, you already know. Don't know too much about driving. Luka Doncic, love it for the NBA. Best athlete with a disability, Brenna Huckabee in snowboarding. Shout out to Brenna Huckabee. College sports athlete, women's athlete, Caitlin Clark, you already know. Best NBA player, WNBA player, Aja Wilson, you already know. Ran into Aja at the airport. She was super duper cool. Took a selfie with me. Awesome. Best championship performance, JB, already know. Pat Tillman Award for Service, Prince Harry, like that. Best women's athlete, Aja Wilson, again, you already know. Jimmy V Award for Perseverance, Dawn Staley, in terms of everything that she's doing. Excellent. Okay. And so, yeah. I'm shout out to the ESPYs. Shout out to, these awards and recognizing who they did. I just, all the people are lifting up their games and lifting up their sports. Shout out to Coach Dawn Staley. And getting that natty, and doing it in a way, right? Lifting up and showing love and respect to Caitlin Clark, who's one of the greats of the game of women's basketball and who is going and has and continues to take women's basketball to new heights, So, love Coach Staley. Pride of City of Brotherly Love, Philadelphia. Okay. So for Team USA basketball, it's been about an hour, and we're gonna, I want to talk about Team USA basketball. Good win against Canada. Clearly the favorites, but I it's not. This team is not runaway favorites, folks. Have you seen Team France? You know that France has, Wemby. They have the unicorn. They have Gobert, the defensive specialist. They have the top 2 picks in the NBA draft. I mean, and they're just young. Now, as it said, and is right, pound for pound, it's not even close with the NBA. But here's the thing that I always, that these guys, they love playing for their country. They love playing with their countrymen. I feel with the the international players, and you can see that, and it's a continuity thing. Now, LeBron James, one of the greatest basketball players and greatest basketball minds in history, as the leader on this team, we're not going to get outmaneuvered. Team USA is not going to get outmaneuvered. Even those other teams, you go back in the day, where Argentina had Ginobili and Scola. And just a number of other players I'm escaping my, and they just played beautiful team basketball. Like that's the some of the matchups Team USA is going to get into, and they're just this is what I think is going to be the case. Feel strongly that they are going to have role acceptance. They are going to make the right play, and just that fine line of being aggressive when you're out there, but also kind of recognizing that you have a mismatch at every single position on the court in the majority of your matchups. When you play against France, maybe you don't have an advantage at 1, possibly 2. But a lot of teams, they have a mismatch of 4 to 5 positions, if not all 5. So how do the players kind of and still be aggressive, but also running the offense and managing the ball game in the right way? I think they're going to do that and get this gold. But France is ascending, and this team, I think, is going to show a lot of things, and Got to take a look at my world rankings to see the other squads. Disappointed that Luka and Slovenia are not going to be at the Olympics. It's tough that we had to choose between Luka and Giannis. So Giannis is going, and Luka's out. Luka, does need, I think the people in Dallas are like, Luka, you need to get healthy. You need to get that rest, which he will do. Okay, so went long form on the JB situation. No problem on that. SB, shout out, tip of the cap, Serena hosting. And this is kind of leading into, shout out to all the people that won awards. They got it right across the board. The Dawn Staley's of the world, the Caitlin Clark's of the world, Patty Mahomes of the world. Lamar got an award, Shohei Ohtani. Yes, love it. Recognizing and highlighting and just the collaborative piece of the SBs, the sports coming together. Beautiful. And now I just have to say in conclusion, this episode is going a little bit late, but folks, the summertime on the Cape is a beautiful thing, specifically this early window in July. It's just, and that's a part of the reason I had to do. We here, Sand City is here. I had to do the pod today, even though coming in late, starting a little bit late on the East Coast, 11:30. It is what it is, and that's just coming from just the exuberance that we have right now on Cape, right? When it's the middle of, when it's late November, early December, or late January on the Cape, and it's cold out here. I'm not a cold weather person, all right. And we're going to these basketball games to get inside and be warm and to share community. I feel some type of a way, and I wait and I hope, for these summer days. But I just have to say, it's a beautiful thing, very fortunate thing. Have family in town visiting from Arizona. Pop's got a chance to go out and see two of my men's league basketball games. That was an incredible privilege. Won yesterday's game, lost last Wednesday's game in OT. I did advise one of our snipers to take a 3-point shot with 22 seconds when we were up 2. I did not know, interesting full disclosure, that there were 22 seconds left in the game. But I don't believe, I just want to, as a men's league veteran, and I'm, I haven't played as much as I used to. Shout out to Jason McIntyre, who put me on. You don't stop playing because you get old. You get old because you stop playing. Understand that. And I've learned that the hard way. All right. We played in men's leagues for over, 13, 14 years straight. And then I got, quote unquote, busy, and I wasn't able to do it anymore in the last 2-3 years since I stopped playing. I've gotten older, and it's noticeable. That's not great. The whole move it or lose it. I'm not necessarily there. Instant full disclosure. I'm from the awesome 80s baby. Okay, early 80s, right? So your boy's in his 40s. And I'm missing my men's league basketball, both in terms of the exercise and the camaraderie and the competition. That's what I really miss. But then also, you don't stop playing because you get old. You get old because you stop playing. I'm starting to feel a little bit older, not having that. So the summer league has been great to just get back out there. I got a long ways to go in terms of getting myself back right. But it was just an unreal, to have your pops at the game who coached your CYO team when you were in 4th and 5th grade, coming up through the ranks. That was awesome for us to be playing well and get some wins. And yes, I did advise the sniper shoot the 3 with 20 seconds left, which, I said we're going to go for it. And again, we don't hold the ball ever in men's league basketball, right? And if you're not going to hold the ball and the defense is pressing up on you, you can run a little bit of 4 corners, but we're not going to hold the ball for a damn minute. Now it's only 22 seconds, so we could hold the ball 22 seconds and made them foul, but we didn't do that. Couldn't get a stop with it. And we could also got a stop on the last possession. We got a missed shot, but then they got the rebound and scored it. We didn't finish our defense with rebounding. Then we were winning. We overtime was back and forth. We had a chance. We got to stop and had a chance to take a lead, and we didn't. And then they just got a couple rounds. We had a couple turnovers and lost that game. Tough loss, but we got back on track yesterday. Shot the 3 incredibly well. I mean, I'm not necessarily known as a marksman. I hit my 1-for-1 3, and then our guys, we just had a really good shooting night. Didn't defend like we needed to start the second half. We were up 11 to start the second half. I learned a lesson. I didn't put myself. It's not that but I'm a Eric Snow type of a player. I'm an Eric Snow, right? You might remember Eric Snow in the 2001 Philadelphia 76ers, right? Team that was literally built around AI. Eric Snow, Allen Iverson, Aaron McKee. I forget who they thought. Maybe Matt Geiger at the 4 because they had to trade Thilo Ratliff to get to Dikembe Mutombo to match up against Shaquille O'Neal. I love Theo Ratliff. I wish I could have kept Theo Ratliff somehow, some way. But yeah, Eric Snow, man, who played football at University of Michigan State, excuse me. Decided to play basketball, but I played defense. I moved the ball, but it's mostly that defense is where I really try to make my impact on these games. And we were up 11. I told the guys, like, we need to start off on the right foot, and then we gave up a 7-0 run to start the second half. So I put myself back in the game. Not that I'm some wonder. And it wasn't necessarily me coming back in the game. I did hit my 1-for-1 3, which was a big 3 because they were kind of making they were making their move. But then our guys, like, we shot a very high percent. I don't even know what it was. Like, they would cut it to like 5 or 6, and then we just hit a 3 and get a run out. And then they would cut it to 7, and we hit another 3. And we ended up winning by like 15, 16 points with guys just but that has a lot to do. Our team everybody knows each other, respects each other. And we play that second. We run that secondary break, and we got a couple shooters. But the pace that we play, like, we're running on make baskets. We are running, which I love. Yeah, I love that. Not necessarily 7 seconds or less. But you get, you know what I mean. We're out there moving and grooving. So that's just been wonderful, incredible blessing and beautiful thing. And then just this early, and it's hectic and it's busy, and the tourists are waiting 3 and 4 hours to get over the bridge both ways. And I tip my hat to them, but I'm just really thankful for this time of year here on the Cape. Because the Cape, I feel, it's like the 4th of July at the beginning of the summer, and it's also the pinnacle of the summer. Like 4th of July weekend on the Cape is a thing. It's a thing. It's a big deal, very big deal, and people want to be here for the 4th. And it's the rest of the summer, it's just still great, but the 4th is on another level. And so fortunately we had great weather for the 4th. And the 4th, I went to a Cape League game. I was gonna go to the Cape League game today. They're playing against Orleans Firebirds, and it was just dreary and couldn't get over. I imagine they finished the game because the rain didn't pour down, but it's just a consistent, dreary, overcast. So I'm hoping to get to the game on Sunday. Got a referee on Sunday, but hoping to check out the Cape League game afterwards. And it's great. I'm thrilled for people that are here, that are visiting, thrilled for people that have worked so hard throughout the course of the year to be able to be on vacation and have that time and have those moments. In terms of me personally, I'm not a huge beach person. Like to throw the ball around, like to play catch, but do the men's league and then go out to the nice restaurants and whatnot. And it's just, 'tis the season. So if we're going to, when we have issues, if we're going to speak to those issues, things that are negative, and there's nothing wrong with that, we have to address, things and improve things and correct things. Then we also, as far as I'm concerned, we also got to highlight and talk about and be appreciative of when things are going the right way. And things right now on the Cape are a lot of positive, a lot of great things that are going on. And so we just appreciate and more. All right, so folks, thank you so much for tuning in with the Sand City Sports. Like, comment, subscribe, good, bad, and different. I want to hear it, how we can improve, do things better. And of course, we are going to see you again the next time. Peace.